In this video, we're going to cover lesson number 5. And lesson number 5 is a pretty short lesson. So basically it has 3 letters and then examples for those 3 different letters. So the first letter, okay, so I'm going to start reading from here. Sa, lapta, lanaro, lopa lop, tsana ten, lop ten, meaning lesson. La, ngapta, nga, pa, ngaba, ngaba meaning 5, lesson 5. Lop ten, nga, pa, lop ten, ngaba. So the first letter we have is the letter A, which is the last letter out of the 30. And these red ones are in ume. And then at the bottom you should see the exact corresponding letter in uchen. So ma, and cha. And then the same thing here in uchen. Ma, and cha. And then down below you have the 3 examples. So the first example is ma, ama. And then over here I've written how you should pronounce it, and then at the top you should see the meaning. Ama means mother, and then down below you have the same exact word in uchen. So that's ma, ama, ma, ama, and then it means mother. The next example is ma, mama. So that's how it's pronounced, and mama means nanny. And then down here the same thing, the same word in uchen. And then the last example we have is cha, ma, chama. Cha, ma, chama in uchen, in ume. And then how it's pronounced, so it's J-H-A, that's cha, so it's not jama. This is chama and not jama. So that's why we have, after the letter J, we have H and A to give it a cha sound rather than ja. So chama means a lady tea maker. And that's pretty much it in this lesson. So we're going to take a little detour since this is a really short lesson. So in the last 14 videos we have learned how to basically we have learned ume, the headless letters, and then uchen, the headed letters, and then in the last video we learned the 4 vowels in Tibetan language. So since lesson number 5 was a little short, so I'm gonna show you guys how to install the popular Monlam font so that you guys could read and practice, or basically you can go to a website that's totally in Tibetan language. So to be able to do that, we need to download the Monlam font, which is a really popular Tibetan font. Right now it's the most popular Tibetan font on the web. So I'm using basically to show you guys how to do that, I'm running Windows Virtual PC in Windows XP mode, and my primary machine I'm running Windows. So this is my primary machine. On my primary machine I'm running Windows 7 Professional, but since I need to show you guys how to do the installation step by step, so I'm running this Windows XP in virtual mode. So to be able to download the font, the website you need to go to is www.monlamit.org, and then press enter. And this is the home page so that you guys could download the font. And then I'm gonna do the same thing in Google Chrome, because some of you might be running Google Chrome, some of you guys might be running Internet Explorer, so just to show you the difference. So as you can see, whether you're running Google Chrome or whether you're running Internet Explorer, all we get is a series of squares, and you really can't read this. Even if I do know how to read Tibetan letters, but I cannot read these. So whether you know how to read the Tibetan script or not, that's not the question, because no matter who you are, you won't be able to read these. And same thing here in Internet Explorer, and then same thing here in Google Chrome. So so if you do have the font installed, then this is what it looks like. So I'm going to launch Google Chrome from my primary machine. So if I go to monlamit.org, enter, and as you can see, in here, see, I can, all the tabs, all the links at the top, I can read it. This one says Tinsar Nyenche Leshi Chezom Nyamle, and so basically I can read all these, and also over here I can tell pretty much how to read all that stuff, and all the links below here I can see it pretty easily. However, because the reason is because I have the font installed on my main machine, but in my virtual machine I don't have the font installed. So if you don't have the font installed, then you need to install the font first. But the problem is, if you have never installed it on a machine, then it's kind of tough to know where you should click to do the installation. So that's why I'm gonna show you this one more time. So this is the one from my primary machine. So I'm gonna click the second tab, which is Nyenche. So when you click here, the second tab, then you get to this page. Then over here you see a couple of icons down here. So if I go to this icon, it says Publin. So you can kind of make an educated guess, because this one has a down arrow with the floppy disk icon. So you can assume that maybe this has something to do with download. It would be helpful if when you hover your mouse on this icon, if it gives you a tooltip saying download or something, to indicate that when you click here you can download something. And then I'm assuming probably this has something to do with settings, because it has the settings icon from the Apple based devices. And then this one looks like a video icon, so probably something to do with videos. So basically, since I've already done it, so that's why I know where to click. But if you are here, there is no way to know where you're supposed to click. So basically you have to click the second tab. That's the home page, right? So if I compare here, this one is same as this one, right? The home page icon. And then you would be clicking the second link, the second tab right there, which is this one right here. So this is in Google Chrome. In Internet Explorer, you would be clicking this one, same thing, right? Okay. So once you click the second tab, then you would go here. So I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to click the second tab, and then that takes me to this icon, which I explained before. So I'm going to click here. So when you click here, it takes you to this page. So basically this is the link for the font. This is for the application that shows you guys how to pronounce all the letters, how to pronounce simple words, and how to basically do basic simple communication in Tibetan language. And then this application is the Tibetan dictionary, Monlam dictionary. It's a really cool dictionary. You can translate from English to Tibetan, Tibetan to English, and all that stuff. And then this one is basically for Google's Android-based devices, mainly for smartphones and tablets and stuff. So basically, so that you could send emails, text messages, SMS, all that stuff on your handheld or tablets or smartphones, or I mean, there's even a new category I've heard, like phablets. It's both tablet and phone at the same time. So you can use it on any of those devices if you download the font here for those devices, for Android-based devices. So in this video, basically we're gonna download the font only, and then I can do maybe a separate video on how to download these maybe sometime later. So to be able to download the font, you click this link, and then this will take you to this page, and then over here it says Monlam Tibetan Sum Tsek Jik, which means 3.1 or 3.1, and then down here it says Remit Pable. Rin means price, me means no, so that's no price. Pable means download, so it's no price download, which means free download. So since I have done this before, when you click here, you have the option to install it for both Mac or for Windows. But if you want to do it only for Windows, then you could click here, and then you could click here for Mac, and then it looks like it's Windows, Mac OS 10.5 and higher, and over here it's for XP, Windows Vista, or Windows 7. So I'm just going to click here. So when you click here, down here, as you would see, it's going to start downloading, and it's about 43.9 meg, and depending on your internet connection or who your internet service provider is, it could be a couple of minutes to a couple of seconds, or maybe a couple of hours, depending on the download speed you have. So this should be done pretty soon. And okay, now it looks like maybe about 13 seconds. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, touchdown. Okay, so there we go. So now we have the font downloaded through Google Chrome, and by default Google Chrome will download all the files. If you go to my documents, and then if you go to the downloads folder, there we go. So there we have the font we just downloaded. If you look at the time and the date, it says date created 2/11, and then actually this is Tibetan New Year today, and then the time is 11:26 p.m. And the file size is 43.8, description Monlam Tibetan 3.1, company Monlam Tibetan. So that's where Google Chrome downloads automatically. Okay, so now if I do the same thing in Internet Explorer, so basically you would click here on the second tab, it goes here, then you click the Publin link. So I'm doing the same process in Internet Explorer now, and then you would click the fourth link, which is this one. So you click here, and then it takes you to this page, same thing, right? And then you would click here. Now in here you have this option, either you can save it or you can run it directly from here. My recommendation would be generally to save it, so that if you need to reinstall it at a later time, you can always reinstall it. So I'll just save it for now, and then it gives you the option whether you want to save it to a specific folder, or if you want, you can even save it to My Documents. But if you do go to My Documents, we already have a copy in there that we downloaded earlier through Google Chrome. So this one right there. So just to show you the difference, I'm not going to download it there. So I'm going to put it on the desktop for now. So I'm going to click save again, and about 20 seconds left. So depending on the speed, it could go up or down a couple of seconds here and there. So this should be done pretty soon, and the transfer rate I have here is 1.15 meg, which is not that bad. And then if you click here, it'll automatically close it. Generally you leave it open so that you get an option to do whatever you want to do. Otherwise it'll automatically close it if this is checked. So now we should get a prompt. Okay, so now you get this. Otherwise if you check this, it'll just close it and you wouldn't know what you just did. So now you could say either you can open the folder to see it, or you can just close it. I'm just going to close it for now and then minimize both. So now this file right here is the one we just downloaded through Internet Explorer, and then the other one, I just created a shortcut for the downloads folders so that I could just save a couple of clicks rather than going to start, my documents, downloads. That's like 3-4 clicks. So with this shortcut, you just click here and then there we go. So we have the same font downloaded from Google Chrome, and we have the same file downloaded from Internet Explorer. It's the same exact file, and we don't I was just trying to show you guys how you do it either in Google Chrome or in Internet Explorer. So I'm just gonna double click on this one from the downloads folder. So we have finished downloading. Now I am trying to run it. So since this is an unknown publisher, generally you'll get the security warning. So you can just, since you know this is a trusted website, so you can always run click here. But if you're if you receive a exe file, generally you don't mess with exe files. These are called executable files. So if somebody sends you that you don't know and the file extension is .exe, then generally you stay away from those. Just delete it to be on the safe side. But since we know this is a trusted website, and I'm kind of showing you guys how to do this, so this should be safe. So just click run, and then the installation process will start, and then you get this option. So if you click here for for PCs, and click here for Macs. So I'm just going to click right there, and then you have these options. I think this is some online help. This is for the keyboard, and then this is if you need to install Adobe 8 if needed, but we don't need it on this one. Okay, so I'm just going to click here, and then now it's saying Monlam Tibetan 3.1 installation, and then I'm just going to click OK. So it's doing the thing, decompressing, and I'm gonna say next and install. So now it's installing the font, and at any time it should be done. There we go, bada bing bada bang, and you click finish. And now as far as the font is concerned, we have just completed the font. So now if I go back to Google Chrome, I still have this. So I'm gonna close this and then relaunch Google Chrome. So I'm back at the home page, and then I'm gonna click, and there we go. So now we can read these, right? All these letters should be very familiar to you guys, since you guys have, if you have seriously taken all the 14 videos we have done so far, you should be able to recognize and hopefully be able to read it. Whatever you see here is any one of those 30 alphabets we have learned, and the 4 vowels we have learned in the last 14 videos. So you guys should be able to at least give it a try and see if you can recognize all these letters and the vowels. Okay, so now we know for sure that on this machine we have installed the font correctly. Okay, now let's do the same thing in Internet Explorer. And in Internet Explorer, we don't even have to relaunch it. It automatically refreshed, and now we can read all that stuff. See, now over here, that's the home page. And that's the second tab we clicked earlier for the installation right there. So now we should be able to read all that stuff. So basically what I'm trying to say is now you have the font installed, and if you go to any websites that's based on Tibetan language, you should be able to read it without any problem. And I'll give you an example here. So I'm just going to go to dalalama.com, and this is the home page for His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and this is the English version. And if you click here, so this is the stuff I was talking to you guys earlier. So when I hover my mouse over here, it says Pui, and in the tooltip it says Tibetan version, right? And then if I go down here, it says Lang Russian version. If I go here, it says Mongolian version. And then if I go up there, it says Chinese version. So basically, even if you don't know how to read these, with the tooltip, it really helps you with deciphering what this might be. So that's why it's really important to have a helpful tooltip. So now I'm gonna click the Tibetan link. It says Panarapoda ya kigu yiga yik puyik, right? You should be able to read this, you guys. So I'm just gonna click the Tibetan link. So when you click the Tibetan link, this will take you to the home page of His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama of Tibet in Tibetan language. So now over here, if you look at it, all these are in Tibetan. So now so hopefully by the end of all the lessons, I mean, we still have a long way to go, but still, hopefully by the end of all those lessons, you guys should be able to read any web pages and be able to be able to understand what the topic is about, or what the information is about. So in this case, it's saying Kongsa Gamgun Chambo Choki Semda Soki Toling Teng Yetukpe Nin Tamar Galop Zewa. So basically, this is talking about His Holiness the Dalai Lama just recently finished debate or sharing of information with the scientists from different parts of the world at the Mind and Life conference held very recently in Debung Monastery in South India. So that's what this is talking about. So basically, yes. And then one thing cool about this website is also, see, if you click the plus sign, the fonts will get bigger. See, and then if you click here, you can minimize the font size, and if you want to make it even smaller, you can click here, which is a pretty cool tool right on the web homepage. So basically, this is the homepage of His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama of Tibet. And then over here, if you click, it'll say Inyi Gyaik Rashia Ra Sha Kigushi Ya Ra Shi Ya Gya Yik Chinese, In Yik. In Yik means English. So if I click here, it'll take me back to the English version of the same web page. So now, since we have finished installing the font, now we're going to install the keyboards. So I'm just going to click here, and these are the available different fonts that's available. So I'm just going to click the first one, Monlam Tibetan /TCRC. That's Tibetan Computer Resource Center based in Dharamsala, India. So this is asking, okay, Monlam 3.01 Unicode to TCRC KB keyboard has been successfully installed. Click close to exit. So I'm going to click close, and then I'm just going to try the next one, and then that says it's done. And then I'm going to click the next keyboard option. This is for the Himalaya. And then the last one, Monlam version 2 keyboard, and it finished that. So as soon as you finish installing the keyboard thing, then basically you can exit the application, and if you check below in the system tray, you should see a language bar, this one right there. So if you click the language bar, now you should see all the fonts right there. So if you select here, you'll be selecting, see the check mark right here. Right now the default is English in the United States. And then if you click here, now you go back just to make sure. Now you see the check mark right next to Monlam, right? So you can select any of these fonts to be able to type in Tibetan. And in this virtual machine, I don't have Microsoft Office installed, so I'm gonna run this from my primary machine, and just to show you guys how it works. So I'm trying to launch Microsoft Word. So now I have Microsoft Word launched here, and then I'm gonna start check this on my main machine. So if I go back to the language bar from my main machine, I have Monlam 3.01 selected, and now I'm gonna change the font size so that you guys could see it better. So now I'm pressing the letter B on my keyboard. So as soon as I press the letter B on my keyboard, the corresponding letter Pa in Tibetan language pops up in Microsoft Word. And I'm running Office 2010. So just to show you guys that I'm not making this up, I'm gonna start the on-screen keyboard that's available in Windows 7. So this is the on-screen keyboard. So right now it's in English. So as soon as I click on the over here, this should change to Tibetan. There we go. Okay, now as you can see, this is my on-screen keyboard. So you can see the numbers up here: Jik, Ni, Sum, Shi, Nga, Tuk, Dun, Ge, Gu, Lego, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 0, right? And then the first letter here is Dalota. This is Wa. This is Dengbo, which is the E, which is one of the vowels. This is Ra. This is Ta. This is Ya. And this is Shepku, or the U. This is Kigu, or the E. And this is Naro, or the O, the 3 vowels here. And the first vowel, we found it right there. So the 4 vowels are up here on this row. And then the letter Pa. And these are some of the signs, I think. And then over here, Ha and La, Ga. So all that stuff is here. So now I'm gonna press Naro. So as soon as I press Naro, you saw the Naro being written on top of the letter Pa. And then I'm gonna select Ta, right? P, Pa Naro P Ta P. And then I'm gonna press the space bar. So every time I press the space bar, I'll see the check or the punctuation mark. So if I keep pressing, all I get is a series of check. So I'm gonna backspace, and if you need a white space or a blank space in between, so you can click the shift key and then press the space bar. Now you get a blank space or a white space without the dot or the check. So I'm gonna backspace one more time, and now I'm looking for the letter Ya, which is right here, Ya, Now I'm looking for the vowel I, which is kigu, which is right here. Ya, kigu. And then I'm looking for the letter ka, which is right there. And then the tsek or the dot. So panaro pöta pö, ya kigu, yiga yik, pöik. Pöik meaning Tibetan language. So basically, once you have the font installed, then this is how you would use it. So you could, I'm pretty sure you guys should know that Tibetan font is available in all the iOS devices, all the Apple, whether it's iPad or whether it's your iPhone. If you go to, okay, so let me turn it on here. Well, once you have your iPhone or iPad, then you can click the settings icon, and then you can go to the general tab, and then if you scroll down it'll say keyboard. So if you press the keyboard, you should see something called international keyboards. When you click the international keyboards, then you can say add new keyboard, and then if you scroll down you should see Tibetan. So just click Tibetan, and that should under the list of keyboards you should see English and Tibetan. And then once you have that, then you should be able to send text messages or write emails in Tibetan. So basically, once you have so if you are in your mail or something, basically you should be able to, you should see a globe icon, and then if you click there you can change from English to Tibetan. Like it should be, if you're looking at your iPhone or your iPad, on the left hand side there should be a globe icon, and you try to type in the virtual keyboard. So if you press that globe sign, it should change from English to Tibetan or Tibetan to English, and then you can type exactly the same way. So that's how you would basically download it and then use it either in emails or to sending out for publication or whatever you need to do. And I think that's pretty much it. Until the next video, if possible, help others. If not, at least refrain from harming others. And thanks a lot. Bye-bye.